Have you been struggling to beat your nemesis for a long time? Well, we're going to help you to develop your plan to beat that player. Like everything in table tennis, it's about how do you keep things simple. There's no point planning too far ahead. Let's focus on the first 3 balls in the rally: the serve, the return, and the third ball. Remember, the average rally in table tennis only lasts 3 or 4 balls. For each of these balls, we need to think about 3 elements: the spin, speed, and placement of each of those balls. For the serve, let's think about spin first. You need to find what type of spin your opponent struggles with, whether it's side spin one way, side spin the other, back spin, top spin. That's the first element. The second element is the speed. Do they like fast serves or slow serves? And the third element is placement. Thinking about where to place that serve on the table, whether you want to serve it close to the net, whether you want to serve it long and deep, or whether you want to serve that half long ball where the second bounce is going to be close to the end line of the table. You need to examine all of those elements for the serve and find a plan that's going to work for you against your specific opponent. With your serve, in general, you want to serve a lot of backspin on the serve. So the backspin makes it more difficult for your opponent to attack. If you serve with topspin, especially if it's just topspin and long, it's very easy for them to attack that ball. So mainly backspin serves. The other element with serving is how many do you want to serve short and how many do you want to serve long? If you serve 80% short and 20% long, it's going to make it more difficult for your opponent to attack, and it's going to give you more opportunity on your third ball to make an attacking stroke. When you do serve that 20% long, that's going to be a surprise, and they're hopefully not going to be ready for it. We need to now think about when your opponent's serving, what returns can you make to play effectively? So let's examine those 3 areas: spin, speed, and placement again. With the spin, you can either play with backspin or with topspin, or perhaps some side spin as well on your return. The second thing is the speed. Are we going to play the ball short? Are we going to play the long and fast? Are we going to flick fast? Are we going to topspin fast? And the third element is placement. Think about where your opponent wants that return coming to and try to play to the other side. Do they like the ball coming back to their backhand? Are they looking for the ball to go back to their forehand so that they can attack? We need to find the best place: forehand, backhand, or middle, short or long. Let's examine the different types of serves. So if they serve short, we've got 3 options. We can push the ball short, we can push the ball long, or we can flick the serve. What is considered a short serve? A short serve is a ball that's going to bounce at least twice on your side of the table. Let's examine the spin options with that short ball. We can play backspin, no spin, or topspin. Our placement options are that you can play the ball short, long, half long, and you can also play the ball across to any position on the table. For our 3 elements of spin, speed, and placement, more is not always better. Sometimes less spin can be more effective. Sometimes a slower ball can be effective. So don't always think about trying to do more spin and faster. If the serve is long, that is just 1 bounce on your side of the table, your best option is to attack either backhand or forehand topspin. Let's now examine the next balls in the rally. For the server, that will be the third ball. After they've served, the return, and then the third ball. For the receiver, after you've returned, and then the next ball being the 4th ball in the rally. We need to think about the spin, speed, and placement. Do they struggle with topspin or do they struggle with backspin? Do they struggle with the speed being fast, or do they struggle when you play that ball a bit slower with spin? And thirdly, think about the placement. Do they struggle more on the backhand, on the forehand? Do they have problems in the middle, or are you better off going really wide and making them move? During a match, make sure that you're staying aware, because remember, your opponent's mind is constantly changing. So you need to alter your tactics as the match goes on. For example, you might be playing a lot of balls into their backhand side, but then during the match, they start to get ready on the backhand. That's the time to change your tactics and play to the forehand. The best way to remember what to do against an opponent is to write down some notes after you play them, thinking about the serve, the return, the next ball, and the elements of spin, speed, and placement. And that way, you're going to be ready to take down your nemesis next time.
Make sure to check out the PingSkills website. We've got heaps of step-by-step tutorials, expert tips, training plans. Plus, if you've got a table tennis question, you can ask it right there on the site, pingskills.com.